Hello everyone and welcome to the Haute UCI Mountain Bike World Series. We are here in one of mountain bike racing's spiritual homes, Haute Savoie, Léger, for the final European UCI Cross Country World Cup of the season. What a place to have it. This place has made legends for some time now, and it might make a couple of more yet this afternoon. My name's Rick McLaughlin. I'll be taking you through this one. Elite men getting ready to go here in Léger, and then we will have the under 23 men's race straight after that. Halfway through a hectic day of cross-country racing in the shadow of Mont Blanc. Very, very different racetrack to the one we woke up to this morning. 15 degrees Celsius out there, drying quickly. Huge, huge thunder, lightning, rainstorm rolled through town last night. Colossal amount of rain dumped onto this track here in Léger, but it is starting to dry up. It's mostly dry throughout. Let's check out the highlights from the short track on Friday evening. As you can see, bone dry, really warm evening for some short track racing. Lucas Schwarzbauer led him off the line, as he likes to do. Sam Gaze was in close attendance, but then crashed early on in the race. Martin Vidari, Charlie Aldridge went with Schwarzbauer. And the front group stayed together. Really, really good short track course here in Léger. Thomas Litcher had a go at the front, but the rider in the centre of your screen now in the white jersey of the UCI World Champion, Sam Gaze, fought his way back through the entirety of the field, all the way to the front of the race. Alan Haverly sensed he was coming for Cannondale Factory Racing, got himself away up the road. And then there were five at the front. Charlie Aldridge, national champion of Great Britain, was in there as well. Schwarzbauer continued to attack at the front. It's the only way he knows how. Gaze rejoined the group, and again Haverly sensed danger, got himself clear of it, leaving his teammate Charlie Aldridge as a rear gunner. Gaze got past Aldridge, only momentarily though, as the British rider dive bombed up the inside of him on the rock section. Alan Haverly took his first short track win since Petropolis 22. Aldridge, career best, second behind him. Then it was Gaze in one of the hardest fought displays we have seen from any rider this season. Cannondale Factory Racing. Simon Andreasen was 7th, which means that there'll be 3 riders on the front row for that team. Haverly, Aldridge, Gaze, Schwarzbauer, Litcher, Colombo, Andreasen, Brido will be the front row today. Then it was Kaleli Stapp, Martin Vidari in 10th. And in the short track standard, Sam Gaze taking a jersey ahead of the absent Victor Koretsky, 54 points out of difference. Then it's Schwarzbauer, Haverly, Colombo, top 5, then Blevins, Litcher, Schurter, Brido, Aldridge, Saru, Vidari, Defoimont, Andreasen, Shermans. Won't start today, Jens Shermans, we've just heard. Forster, Kaleli Stapp, Pidcock. All boiling up nicely. Well, we saw Alan Haverly take that win in the short track on the Friday night. Former short track overall title winner, and still one of the very best all-rounders, a threat in both races. Softly spoken South African. We swung by Cannondale Factory Racing earlier in the weekend to catch up with him.
definitely not my favorite conditions. Yeah, I mean, obviously me and Nino, we had a big overall battle for that one, so I think I felt a lot of pressure on my back to try get a good result, obviously to be really close in the fight for the overall. I think it's, for me it's difficult, being in that kind of sticky conditions. Like if it's flat out raining, it's no problem. Like, I mean, that I can do, I've trained in that, but that really sticky, slippery mud, it was not my game, and I think I made a few wrong choices with tyre setup, which also didn't help. But yeah, I just fought all the way through to the end, like I always do, and just consolidated to take the 20th and secure the second place in the overall. Well, I think it's quite a weird one. Like, I've been there at the front, but I think it's only been two standout events for me, being Brazil and Val di Sole, where I've really been in the battle for the win, and the rest kind of I've been there or thereabouts. So it's kind of a bonus in a way to be P2 in the overall, and quite close, I would consider. I think with 3 rounds to go, it's going to be a dogfight, and for sure I'm not going to let Nino have it easy. So looking forward to some big battles over the next 3 World Cups. Yeah, it's just finding the balance. It's obviously a big season, Olympics being a big goal and World Champs being a big goal for me. Those 2 events are kind of always in the back of my mind, and I think the risk factor for me is just a bit high, and not quite able to switch on enough to fight for it. But for sure now, with the overall being close with Nino, I'm going to need to pull some risk out somewhere to gain those points, hopefully in the short tracks as well. Yeah, I mean, we kind of, as a coaching team, we have this one as quite a high priority because it's the last race before Olympics, so kind of you need to be knocking on the door for the win, otherwise it's going to be difficult to make big changes from now until the games. It's not that long to go, but for me, I'm treating Olympics as just another World Cup round. I think for me, if I'm approaching it in a different way and you start doing different things, it just all falls to bits. So I think just stick to routine and treat it as another event. I think it's obviously there is a bit of a difference with it, with how few are on the start line. But yeah, I think the preparation has been super good so far this year, and I've been on altitude camp now for 6 weeks in preparation for the games. This is my last week at altitude, which I'm quite happy about, and looking forward to dropping down and hitting some quality in my dial into the games now.
He was best of the rest. He's stuck with world-class races here.
Alan Haverly, one of today's red-hot favourites, in a corner of France that is starting to get warmer and warmer. Let's find out who we are going to be talking about this afternoon and who are the contenders. Julian Shelb, what a story, what a season for the German rider. On the podium in Cron, Montana. Matthias Flukiger going to the games with Switzerland. Thomas Maxen, Swiss mountain bike racing. 6 UCI cross-country World Cup wins to his name. Filippo Colombo, the rider who desperately wanted that game spot and now has a point to prove. Luca Braido, the big Italian from Santa Cruz RockShox Pro Team, has hit a vein of form of late, was very good in Switzerland, might be even better today. So, within the 20-minute mark to go. We saw there Luca Braido, Santa Cruz RockShox Pro Team, the Italian squad, having a great season at the minute. Amongst a hectic teams competition, we caught up with Santa Cruz RockShox Pro Team earlier this weekend.
Hi guys, my name is Francesco Bondi, team manager of Santa Cruz Rock Shop Pro Team. We are in Leger for the 6th round World Cup season.
I'm Nadir Koledani. I have 29 years old. I am Italian, and this is my second year with the Santa Cruz Pro Team. In Cross Montana, it was a good result. My best result in World Cup elite category, and yeah, in this track, my condition, my skills is very okay, and usually I can go in the front of the group and a good comeback, and nothing. My shape now is very good.
It's always cool to take the limit, so to discover our limits. So yeah, when the track is already hard and then the rain comes, yeah, the situation for sure becomes so tough.
Luca Bridle!
My team is different another team because we have a good coffee and the best carbonara.
Yeah, I did a lot of work in the start of the season without results, but I was always I always believe in my process. So yeah, I felt super good in Val di Sole, and I keep to grow till now. So I'm happy about that, and I feel confidence for the next race.
The team now have a good shape, every rider, the men and the girls, and I'm sure in Leger we can go better than France, and we work so much for this, and yeah, we are ready.
Santa Cruz Rock Shocks Pro Team, Nadir Koledani, Luca Bridle, growing up together in the province of Udine. Peter Fagerhag, big Norwegian talent, as well as Martina Berta in that squad as well. Italian national champion. Koledani was superb in Cross Montana, up into the top 10 for him. 6th place finish. Very much a climber and will like this place. Great track for the climbers here in Leger. As Sam Gaze hits the rollers, prepares to try and back up that superb performance in the short track. Well, I mentioned that it was good for the climbers. Let's take a look at a slightly tweaked Leger cross-country Olympic course. So start heads up the Whoop, never-ending climb, one of the toughest in the game, and then hits the tree line and gets very, very technical. Steep ascents across routes now covered in mud after this morning's racing. Really a tale of two climbs. This one heads right back up to the top again before hurtling down through some classic Leger bike park. This little section out on the piste, really treacherous, cutting up a tree, and then a couple of rock gardens deliver them back onto the start-finish straight. 3.5 kilometers in length and a perfect start-finish straight for a sprint. Don't take my word for it though. The big man, Josh Carlson, has been out on track already for us this weekend. Here's how he found it.
Welcome back to Leger. We're in a fast and furious round of our UCI Cross Country World Cup. An iconic course here, a similar course to what we've seen in years past, but it's got all of our fast and furious favourite bits. Way! Welcome back to Leger. We're in a fast and furious round of our UCI Cross Country World Cup. An iconic course here, a similar course to what we've seen in years past, but it's got all of our fast and furious favourite bits that we know and love about Leger. Let's check it out now.
This climb definitely drags on. Key part, riders will rip up here surprisingly fast speeds to start the lap.
From our first major climb of the race, we come into the woods here and it gets pretty tech pretty quickly. The biggest thing about this climb is that it changes direction and goes downhill immediately. So saving some energy in this upper climb here will really dictate the speed and the position you take into one of our longest descents of the course. So from that change in direction at the top of our first climb, we drop down into the woods here. Now this is slightly different from years past. Instead of weaving its way across the hill, we come straight down through the roots. This looks like a downhill track or an enduro track more than a cross-country course, so it's very technical. Right now, again, it's dry. If the weather comes in, this is going to be a spicy route fest through here and dramatically changed. There's an inside line, there's an outside line, and there's even this low line down here, so it can really be dictated by the weather and how slippery this entire section will get.
Maintain some good speed through here. Super tech, off camber into our steepest part of the track. Woo!
At the top of our second major climb of the race, we arrive to our most technical part of the climb here. As we come around at the crux of it, at the very highest point, is the most difficult part here. Now, it's dry right now and it's still slippery. Once this gets wet, it's going to wreak havoc on our riders on positioning, because from here, we feed it all the way back down to the finish.
Through the upper rock garden, maintain some good speed.
Come on, buddy!
Carry some good speed out. Get ready for our second major descent. Buckle up, Buttercup. In to the four-cross, Leger Burns. Woo. Oh yeah, feel the G's. We're up. Straight through the middle. Oh.
Wow! And one big old man-made rock garden to finish. The Leger course here, it's fast, it's furious, and it's all the good things tech that we love. Can't wait to see the racing. We'll see you trackside.
Yep, as ever, thoroughly enjoying himself. Josh Carlson getting it done. There's the president of the Josh Carlson fan club. Well, we can hear now from Charlie Aldridge, British national champion, and somebody who's going to be right in the mix today after a superb short track performance. Teammate to that man, Alan Haverley. Charlie Aldridge is down there now.
Charlie, you've had some great results across the season, but how hungry are you for that win?
Very hungry. I'm always hungry, so food or wins, regardless, I'm always hungry. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I hope it's going to come at some point. I'm not rushing it. Still only first year, so there's plenty of time, I hope. So, I mean, second after hour yesterday was pretty good. But yeah, no, the win is coming, hopefully.
Where do you think it's going to be won or lost across the track today?
I mean, I think if you have the legs, you can win it on the climbs, but you can definitely lose it on the descents. Like that corner there looks terrifying. So yeah, I'll just try and keep it upright and see how well I get on.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Charlie Aldridge, one of a trio of Candale Factory racing riders on the front row today. He'll be on there with Alan Haverley and Simon Andreasen, a winner earlier in the year, Andreasen. What are we going to see from him today? You never quite know. Let's try and gauge it. He's down there now.
Simon, great result in the short track. How are you feeling ahead of this one?
Yeah, it was really nice for the whole team. We had a really good race and looking forward to race today. I think it's going to be Not as slippery as we expected, but still looks a bit slick out somewhere, so gonna be an interesting one.
How challenging do you think it's going to be? A real battle out there?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the track itself is hard enough, and like adding a bit of mud and stuff is just going to make it more difficult. So.
And exciting. Good luck.
Thank you.
Simon Andreasen. Amazing win in Arashat earlier this year. One man still on the hunt. Filippo Colombo attempts to drill a hole in that wood with his rollers. Lucas Schwarzbar would dearly love to get back on the top step.
Luca, good to speak to you. With the Olympics around the corner, what is the goal today?
To do another solid race, to feel myself, I think. For sure the eyes are also somewhere else. I think I will not go 100%, but 99, that's for sure. And yes, we will see. I think, yeah, I felt pretty good on Friday. Let's hope I can carry this into today, but it's a different race, another race. And yeah, it's a bit slippery, so some cautious should be paid.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Lucas Schwarzbauer hoping to home back in on that win. Still waiting for it in 2024. Well, one man who came very, very close to that top step for the first time. Julian Scheld. German rider is down there now.
Julian, you got a big smile on your face. How are you feeling ahead of this one today?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the race. I hope it's still a bit slippery, because I like the wet routes and a bit of technical. But yeah, I'm confident.
How does this track compare to the other tracks in the calendar?
Oh, it's pretty hard pushing uphill. You need a lot of power, all wide roads, and pretty fast down.
Enjoy it. Good luck.
Thanks a lot.
Julian Scheld. Superb in Crans-Montana, loves the mud, could do with being muddier than it is right now. It's drying up quickly here in Léger. Well, one man we haven't seen much of this season who is rejoining the fold this weekend, Joshua Dubois. Decathlon Fords, French star, back in action. He's down there now.
Joshua, it's great to see you back on the bike. Your first weekend back out after your elbow injury. How are you feeling?
I'm just happy to are there to can start the race, and we will see after for the result.
Exciting to be here in Léger though, isn't it? What do you make of the track?
Yeah, it's always incredible there. It was good last year for me, so it's not the same this year with the crash of Araksha, but it's just incredible to are there just 2 months after my injuries, so let's see.
Enjoy it.
Thank you.
Joshua Dubois, one of the standout breakthrough acts of last season, back at it. Yeah, the downhill fans have finally got out of bed. This place last night, absolutely jumping. After one of downhill's big days, I was going to say in the sun there, absolutely no sun knocking about yesterday. Bit more off it this afternoon though. Opening race of the day on 23 women's race was a really muddy, almost cyclocross affair, but the ruts are firming up, the woods are drying out, and we're nearly ready to go racing in Léger. Luca Braido, Santa Cruz Rock Shocks Pro Team, loving his racing at the minute. Capable of really taking on the world's best in an attack. Next on to the grid, Simon Andreasen, Cannondale Factory Racing. Filippo Colombo flies the flag for Scott Schramm MTB Racing Team this weekend. No Nino Schurter. Starts to dig himself a rut to explode out of when the lights go green. Thomas Leitcher, Lapierre, Mavic Unities, Swiss Star. Lucas Schwarzbar, we heard that we might have to make do with 99%, not the full 100 today. 99% of Lucas Schwarzbar is still quite a lot. Sam Gaze, one of the most remarkable short track performances of all time on Friday evening. He'll have a good crack at this one today. Charlie Aldridge, the second of the Cannondale Factory Racing trio on the front row. Here he is. Second in the overall as it stands. A real opportunity to take the lead in that competition today for this man, Alan Haverly, the South African. Cannondale Factory Racing all up on the front row. And it's Haverly, Aldridge, Gage, Schwarzbar, Litcher, Colombo, Andreasen, Brido. Geoffrey Kallela stops in there, Vidari. Joining him on the second row, then it's the Foimont, Alban, Zanotti, Blevins, Avandetto, Lukasic, Philippe, Glenn, Julian Shelbs in there. We heard from him earlier on. Then Matthias Flukiger, buried back in the pack alongside Cameron Orr from the UK. Joshua DeBow rejoins the fold. What can he bring with Nadir Koladani? He's going to have traffic on the first lap. And they are getting ready. And they're almost ready to go racing here at the UCI Cross Country Olympic World Cup from Haute, Savoie, Léger. Elite men's race, getting ready to go. The last European UCI Cross Country World Cup of the season. And they are under starters' orders. The lights are red. Until they go green. Sam Gaze in the middle, getting swallowed up. Bad start for Gaze as he slips the pedal. Simon Andreasen disappears up the road. Charlie Aldridge, Alan Haverly, Cannondale Factory Racing 1, 2, 3 up the hill, joined by Lucas Schwarzbauer. Fast, frenetic start as we had anticipated. Thomas Litcher's right in there as well. Luca Brido moving backwards slightly as well. Lars Forster moving forward, but at the minute, in the Red Bull helmet for Cannondale Factory Racing, it's Simon Andreasen on the right-hand side in the same kit in the white helmet. Alan Haverly, and then to his left, Charlie Aldridge, formation flying at the front. As I am joined in the booth by the one, the only, the original, Bart Brenchens. Bart, fast start to this one.
Yeah, fast start here in the Léger. 8 laps for these riders. It seems to be a bit drier. Some of the sections at least. Some of the sections definitely still slippery. But the start, always important. The riders, they fight hard for their position.
The Whoop never-ending climb, the longest climb on the circuit.
And the Cannondale riders, Simon Andreasen, here we see him with the number 17 on his bike. Charlie Aldridge, the number 18. Good start of them both.
Just wonder where, yep, there's Alan Haverly just behind Aldridge over his left-hand shoulder.
Yeah, the Canadian riders had a good race last Friday in the short track. 3 on the first row. Luca Braido, I see over there, the Italian champion.
What a start from Tobias Steinhardt in the yellow, right up in the mix with the world's fastest.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't brew up that early in the race.
As they head into this tricky little rock section now that thins the herd out a wee bit.
Let's look at Schwarzbauer. Good start of him. Filippo Colombo I can see as well.
Sam Gaze in the blue of Alpecin, the Kerner. Christopher Blevins in the Stars and Stripes, the US national champion, heading through the pack now. Still, it's Andreasen at the front.
Yeah, 8 laps on this course. It's a hard race.
Luca Braido, you can just see him there in the Italian champion's jersey, heading for your shot now. All-out warfare at the top of this climb as they battle for spaces on the first descent.
Yeah, Matthias Flückiger in the red champion's jersey from Switzerland over there. In the middle of the screen, Martin Vidal, the specialized rider from Chile over there as well.
On the first look out of my hotel room window this morning, Bart, when I saw the clouds and the rain, I thought this was going to be a day for Flückiger, but it's dried up a lot, hasn't it?
Yeah, here at least it did, but I'm wondering if that's all over the course, because that off-camber corner, especially on that ski slope, that's definitely still very slippy, but I wouldn't say that's the only one, but definitely still some parts over here with the roots and the rocks. These are still slippery if the riders carry on that moisture. There is Matthias Flückiger. Let's see what he can do today. He was second in Crans-Montana 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, through that really little awkward rock section at the top of this descent. Really a course of 2 climbs and 2 descents.
Pierre de Vermont, 12th place from Belgium. Simona Avondetto, 15th, the young guy. He became world champion over here on the under 23 category.
And behind Andreasen is Tito Ancaro, a rider we really haven't seen much of.
But Simon Andreasen, what's he able to do today?
Yeah, took that win in Arashab with that mid-air overtake, absolutely.
Had some back problems afterwards.
Excuse me, my mistake was Daniele Braido in second place there for the CS Carabinieri team. Brother, of course, of Luca Braido and best friend of that man, Nadir Koladani.
Yeah,
3 of them all very close.
Martin Vidal on 19th place. That's Luca Braido, the Italian champion. Then we have Alan Hatterley, Filippo Colombo, Lucas Schwarzbauer, Yuri Zanotti, Matthias Flückiger.
And there's a big opportunity for Alan Hatterley to take the lead in that overall title race, Bart, today.
Lars Forster, always strong in muddy and slippery conditions. Here was Sam Gaze, Alpecin the Koenig team. And behind him, Martin Vidal. They have to line up a little bit before that drop. A little bit of a bottleneck over there. Martin Vidal.
Vidari using every millimetre of suspension travel open to him.
And then we have small gaps in between the riders after that descent.
And we have seen damage done early doors in the other races here today. Riders getting away early and building attacks right from the get-go. There's Sam Gaze in the blue of Alpecin de Koenig, and he's got Martin Vidari of Specialized with him.
Yeah, Sam Gaze, an amazing performance he delivered in that short track when he dropped his chain, or his rear axle came loose. Actually, it was that in the first lap. He had to stop, tighten it again, but he finished third. An amazing performance in that short track race.
One of the most remarkable performances I've seen, Bart, in that short track from Gaze. He never gave up on it.
No. Mentally strong too. And sometimes you need to have also these efforts for your preparation for the Olympics. Definitely his goal as well.
So Luca Braido has taken the lead. There he is, the Italian national champion. And then it's Haverly behind him.
With a small gap already here, 4 seconds to Simon Andreasen. Simon Andreasen, he's on 4th place now. It's Alan Hatterley who is second. 3 Canadian riders, 2, 3 and 4 here in the race.
Yeah.
We have Daniele Braido.
We haven't seen much of Daniele Braido this season.
No. All the strong and good performances in the Italian races. Here he is with the number 31 on his bike. Daniele Braido, the brother of Luca. They really look similar.
Very similar, don't they? Matthias Flückiger is looking good. There he is in the Swiss national champs jersey in 8th place.
And then you have Yuri Zanotti behind him. Another strong Italian rider.
Nadir Coladani, Italians, right through this top 10, having a good time here in France. Alan Haverly then for Cannondale Factory Racing as Matthias Flukiger moves through the pack now. Matthias Flukiger.
Yeah, come to the front.
Past Charlie Aldridge.
Third place. Matthias Flukiger, Alan Haverly just in front of him. They're almost here on the most difficult part of the course, almost at the highest point. Some routes over here, very slippery routes. Wondering if it's dry over here now or not.
We know that Flukiger is at its best when conditions are at their most difficult, and we had an amazing amount of rain here last night. A huge storm swept through the town, thunder, lightning, and just...
Yeah, you wouldn't think that it could dry that quick as it did today. So much rain it was.
Absolutely threw it down. What we're going to see here, Aldridge looking...
Yeah, Matthias Flukiger overtaking a couple of riders just before the steepest part of that climb comes under the bridge. He likes to be in a better position.
Great bike racing there. Just positioned himself up the inside of Aldridge and kept the better line on the way through. Meanwhile, out front, it's this man, Luca Braido, Santa Cruz RockShox Pro Team. Alan Haverly, second place, and it's Flukiger. For the time being, still a lot of racing to go. 8 laps here for the elite men.
Yeah, and look back over his shoulder. There is Alan Haverly. He is on the second place, the South African rider.
It's quite a gap these two are forming at the front, back to Flukiger already.
Is he able to close that gap in the descent?
We have seen some absolutely unbelievable gaps closed down by Matthias Flukiger over the years, so if he can do it, it'll get done.
Yeah, now the fastest section of this course comes for him. That bike park section with the big berms, very high speed, and afterwards off camber.
Luca Braido leads the way here in Leger. There is your race leader, the Italian national champion, Santa Cruz RockShox Pro Team. Then it's Alan Haverly of Cannondale Factory Racing. Has his eyes on that overhaul points jersey. Matthias Flukiger enjoying the bike park more than anyone, going deep off that jump. Charlie Aldridge, well. Flat as you like in front of Andreasen. Then it's Daniele Braido, Colombo.
It feels like they all come together again. Small gaps in between the riders, but that's almost nothing, just a few seconds, and that's the distance also what they need to have to ride this course.
There's Sam Gaze through your shot now.
Martin Vitaura, I saw Max Feudel as well from Austria.
And this is that really steep combination of 2 turns up the piste.
These parts are drying quickly.
Yeah, these were absolutely miserable this morning. So hard to get grip on wet grass. Here we go, Aldridge. There, Aldridge.
What a shot. Great to see that. Charlie Aldridge leading this group, Simon Andreasen, and we have Daniele Braido, the Italian, on the third place of that chasing group.
So they have 179 beats per minute for Aldridge, 190 is max. Aldridge through this newly redesigned rock section that's been causing drama.
But look how easy it looks like for him, how he's over jumping these rocks, if there are no rocks at all for him.
Charlie Aldridge.
And that's what I thought. So riders looking to each other. Simon Andreasen doesn't like to do the work, of course. Charlie Aldridge is in front of him. He doesn't have to work. Daniele Braido does it now. Felipe Colombo takes a drink. It's necessary for a long race. 8 laps. Nadir Coladani.
There's Sam Gaze in the blue. Double denim of Alpecin de Koenig.
The two... No, it's not the 2 leaders. No. The chasers. Second and third place.
Haverly and Flukiger, both of them sense a great chance to win a lot of points here today. But they've got a problem at Luca Braido to solve. And he's currently heading up the climb ahead of them, out of the saddle, trying to extend this gap now, Luca Braido. 9 seconds.
A strong climber he is. It has been some years ago from his last World Cup win. 2 he had.
Yep, Luca Braido wins, coming in 2022, the 5th and 6th round. Lenzerheide and Pala and Sal, Andorra. High altitude, excuse me.
Yeah, many times Luca Braido does altitude training as well to prepare himself for the races, and it works really well. Good climber he is.
There's a good vibe going on down there at Santa Cruz RockShox Pro Team. They're all enjoying their racing at the minute. They're doing well. They're getting results, not unlike Cannondale Factory Racing. If the mood's good in the team,
yeah, it helps what you saw in the Cannondale team as well last Friday in the short track. 3 riders on the first row start today. And you can see it here as well. Simon Andreasen, Charlie Aldrich, Alan Hatterley. Yeah, definitely helps. If the vibe is good in the team, the results are there.
Lucas Schwarzbauer did say that this race was going to be a bit of a balancing act for him as he heads towards the Olympic Games.
Yeah, it's a real climber's course, so yeah. Lucas Schwarzbauer, 6th place now. He is. Felipe Colombo behind him.
So the front three covered by 10 seconds. Here they are on your screen now. Braido from Haverly from Flukiger. Here we go. This is how Luca Braido got in the lead on the last lap.
Oh, what a performance to overtake these riders.
Long-range cruise missile of an attack. Took 3 riders in one go and then just kept going, Bart.
Yeah, it's really a real attack of him. And he knows that he's strong on the climbs. He doesn't feel as well out of the saddle. Accelerating.
No reaction from Andreasen. I wonder if he just realised the calibre of the attack. Inside the race, his own race, fought better off it. Braido, Haverly, Flukiger, your top 3 at the minute.
8 seconds to Luca Braido. It's not that much, but difficult to close a gap like that.
Yeah, especially on a course like this. Full chat the whole way around, one of the fastest average speeds we have. The UCI Cross Country World Cup.
Sam Gase, 10th place, 33 seconds back right now.
24 seconds back to Aldridge, yeah. It's not quite alarm bells, but it's going out, isn't it?
Pierre de Framont, the Belgian champion, on 15th place. 30 seconds back already. 11th.
Top 10 covered by 33 seconds.
Julian Schelp.
Braido through the double jumps.
Julian Schelp, 19th. He was 2nd place 2 weeks ago in Trans-Montana.
It looks like Alan Haverly's managed to extend a bit of a gap back to Matthias Flukiger by a couple of bike lengths. Wow. Just bends his elbow around the tree there. Luca Braido, absolutely superb. I'd love to see a replay of that.
Look at Matthias Flukiger, already back on the wheel of Alan Hatterley in front of him.
Route 1, down that little descent. We have seen people go off the side of that ramp before.
The numbers 1, 2 and 3 in the race. We can see them here. Luca Braido.
Yeah, this one looking...
Looks like they're coming back together. 4 seconds.
This one looking perfectly poised now.
And another big climb in front of them. The 2nd climb of the course. Matthias Flukiger closing quickly to Alan Hatterley. Now together.
Well, as we see Matthias Flukiger closing in on the back of Alan Haverly, who's closing in the back of Luca Braido. We are joined in a commentary booth by Ollie Beckinsale, fresh from trackside. Ollie, looks like a different track from what we saw earlier on this morning.
Yeah, drying out, and we saw the chaos at the start, people swapping tyres last minute. And what was amazing, I saw the front row, the real mix of tyres. I saw Felipe Colombo on an Aspen on the front, so really low treaded. Some of the riders still running, you know, full mud tread, really. So some people rolling the dice.
Rolling the dice on the rolling stock. It's currently Luca Braido who leads the way, who looks to have made the right tyre choice, certainly, anyway. Just ahead of him.
Yeah, he's strong at the climbs, Luca Braido. Opening the gap again a little bit. Just a few bike lengths. It's a telling sign.
I mean, the Olympic Games have dominated this season, as they tend to do in Olympic years, but Luca Braido's going there in superb form, Ollie.
Yeah, and he was a bit quiet last year, winner of a couple of World Cups in the past, but last year, kind of by his standards, you know, on the slower side, but coming into form, these last World Cups, absolutely pinging.
Yeah, Brido looking super strong out there today.
Also, the Italian Federation had a late qualification. So Nadir Coladani, for example, not going to the Olympics. It's Simone Avendetto with Luca Brido, the two Italian. But yeah, sometimes that late.
Schwartzbar moving past Aldridge. Sorry to interrupt you, Bart, but Luca Schwartzbar getting past Charlie Aldridge with Simon Andreasen now. The two teammates lying astern. What do you make of Schwartzbar's chances today, Bart?
I think on a course like this, I would say it's more difficult for him. But it looks like he's coming in a better shape every time.
The three of these at the front now. Ollie back together again. It's Brido from Haverly, from Flukiger. Is there any opportunity to work together here, or is this going to be a straight-out gunfight?
I think on this circuit, there's very little flat sections. You're straight from the descent straight into the climb, so it's every man for himself. But I was amazed just watching from the outside was the speed of Flukiger on the way up through. So he had to start on the third row due to that kind of poorer short track. But the speed he was coming up the climb on the first lap, just going up the outside and taking rider after rider.
But definitely they will push each other and trying out each other constantly as well in the descents to get away. But yeah, working together on a course like this is not that easy. It goes up or down.
There's Christopher Blevins following Pierre de Flamand. Blevins in 16th.
Different tactics here for Matthias Flukiger. He's running this section.
Flukiger running past.
But it works out for him.
But then he's slow.
I'm telling you now, that will not have gone down well with the South African, but he's got the move done, Flukiger.
It's a difficult corner, that one. It's multi-line, but there's no good line. It's all big routes, hard to ride. Mateus opting for the run.
It might be very slippery, the reason for him why he did it.
What happens is you end up tripping each other up in this group of three. One person makes a mistake, and I think what you want to be is where Brido is, just out in front, forget the other guys, just ride your own thing, and if you make a mistake, you slow the others up.
Here we go, talk us through it.
Again. Yeah. Different lines for the riders in front of Matthias Flukiger, a little bit more outside. They carry on more speed, but he's taking that inside, shorter line. But then he has to find his cleats again, his pedals. That took a little bit of time, but still on the second place.
Flukiger swinging the back end out through that double section.
Looks like he has the confidence, the right feeling again.
So we're getting reports from the top of the track from our roving microphone, Josh Carlson, who's saying that it's getting quite windy at the top of the track, which around here can mean a bit of rain inbound. And that would be it all, wouldn't it? Like, we'd have absolutely every single bit of weather today. I tell you what, though, Matthias Flukiger, for me, is looking very racy here today.
And the speed he came up through the pack, he's got the legs today for sure. And we saw him in Crans as well, second behind Pidcock, and so we know he's got good form, and he's got that building form as well. Slower start to in his standards, an awful start to the season in Brazil, but coming up through, and he's now got the momentum.
And we talked about this all season long, about it's an Olympic year, and the battle is Alan Haverly just hangs a foot off.
But look at how easy Matthias Flukiger is following Luca Brido on that
almost
corner
riding into the back of him, he's carrying so much speed. And you see those riders, similar to we saw Keller in the women's race, cutting across on that bridge and then getting to the far left where there's still some good grip, following all the way around the outside, so good skills.
And none of these three leaders actually won a World Cup this season so far, so extra motivation as well for them to win one.
Who can forget that performance from the man in second place now, Matthias Flukiger, Pal Aaron Sala Andorra last year in the rain.
He always likes a wet mud race.
This is like we had in Kansmontana where we finished second behind Pidcock.
I just said before, I opened the curtains this morning, looked out the window and thought Flukiger.
Looking at, hills, mud, it's all over it.
And he won here before. That also helps for him. If you come back to a venue where you have been performing well the previous years, it always helps. Simon Andreas over there. Look at Schwarzbauer in front of him. Charlie Aldridge behind him in the white jersey. This is the top three, the leaders.
And Brido's teammate Caledonia as well, coming through 7th at the moment.
Strong performance.
Yeah.
Schwarzbar's got past a couple. Yeah, really nice. I had a chat with Nadir Coladani the other day in his pits, and I said, what's the best thing about riding for this team? And his face lit up and he just said, the bikes. Absolutely loves those Santa Cruz machines. And also the fact that He said he got to ride every day with one of his best friends, Luca Braido.
Yeah.
They're very, very close. They're from the same region.
And a World Cup winner too. You know, and you pick those little bits off that these real top riders have, and as a developing rider, you learn so much. Even if it's just subconscious, you just pick these little bits off.
Coladani, a real climber's build, small, very slight, very explosive.
So Alan Hatterley went into that tech feed zone line for some drinks.
It's a really, really slow surface, that tech feed zone, isn't it? Really soft, really grassy.
Yeah, he lost the bike length, but it's coming back now to that leading group.
It was interesting, sort of looking at, just look behind him a bit, kind of just calculating, working the race, like he's got
something left.
Something left, yeah. I think he's biding his time. I think he's got another gear.
You could see his body language, the way how he's battling, performing.
Phil Dixon there, just run alongside team manager for Cannondale Factory Racing, having a quick shout in the radio. So there's no ship-to-shore radio. The riders don't have earpieces like they do on the road. Here's heart rate zone breakdown then between Charlie Aldridge and Yuri Zanotti. 190 plays 186 max, 185, 172 live. Aldridge pushing really, really hard by the look of it.
Yeah, both, in zone 5.
Yeah, and Yuri Zanotti, the BMC rider, having a good one so far. You know, 11th has been his best so far this season, and his kind of team leader, Saru's out.
Sam Gay is behind Aldridge now. Will not have forgotten that final turn dive bomb where Aldridge got the better of him in the short track.
But what a short track by Gaze. If you didn't see it, he had a mechanical, dropped his chain, he had to be last man, got back from last to the front group.
Unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. For half a lap, I was starting to think we're going to be commentating on one of cycling's biggest comeback stories where he took the win, but Alan Haverley got the message early and got up the road.
Yeah, and Gaze just moving his way up steadily through this big group, led by Aldridge, who's not the front of this group, 9th place.
So it's Braido, Flukiger, Haverley all together, and they are 21, well, Lukas Schwarzbauer is 21 seconds off the lead. There he is on your screen there. Lukas Schwarzbauer with Andreasen for company. 3 groups. Behind them, it's Andreasen, Coladani. Sorry, excuse me, it's Coladani, Litcher, Avendetto, and Aldridge. Here's Flukiger into the lead now. We did say he was looking good. He fancies a turn to front here.
And this technical section now really suits the Swiss.
Look at Alan Haverley putting the effort in to get right back up on the back of him again.
Yeah, Matthias Flukiger likes to lead.
Yeah, this is an attack.
Whoa. Flukiger nearly out the front door. Big save. He's definitely pushing.
Yeah, taking some risks.
Yeah, but you see the gap is there to Luca Braido, who is in 3rd place.
It's Braido now who's struggling to stay in touch with these front 2.
Different line for him outside, not over that beam over there.
But Schwarzbauer doing well. 22 seconds, doing a good first lap. Second lap as well, just consolidating that position.
Flukiger having a good go here at the front, through the doubles.
Yeah, but still small gaps in between the riders.
If you're Alan Haverley now, is this just about marking this attack off?
Yeah.
Weathering the storm of it?
I mean,
Haverley nearly goes down there, just out of shot.
But you see the speed of looking at, he's super loose through this stuff.
Yeah. He's pushing hard now.
Haverley on
pushing the pressure on these riders.
Through this Red Bull Roots and Rules section. There's that line from Braido, slightly wider. He come off that ramp earlier.
But that looks like a more smoother line. I think it's
slightly more intimidating to ride it, but it's definitely a smoother, better line through that outside.
You can't see it from that camera, but the visibility on the way off that ramp really blind.
There's nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing. There is none. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's deep and you're onto the roots. There's very little grip, and then a drop off into an off-camber corner, so there's a lot going on.
Flukiger continues the attack up this climb, but again, Haverley has an answer for him. Straight back onto the back.
But this is maximum now for Matthias. But Haverley's got it answered, but you can see that if Flukiger just gets these little gaps.
Great to watch Matthias Flukiger
surfing over these roots
at full shot.
See how slippery it still is, even if it's drying quickly.
Luca Braido
right.
doing his best to match that descending speed, but Flukiger just lets that big Tumas bike run, doesn't he?
Braido far from slow, and he did a good section, but it's just the speed.
It costs so much extra energy all the time for Luca Braido to close that gap.
Here's how the race
Heavy
stands.
descent again.
2 leaders, 1 chaser, and then a group behind them.
Yeah, 7 seconds now for Luca Braido.
Yeah, and Gaze continued his move. He was in the middle of that bunch. He's now pushing the front of it now, back up into 6th place.
Yeah, but the gap already 31 seconds for him. Sam Gaze, 34 it is now.
Luca Braido 14 seconds off the lead in 3rd.
Here's Luca Braido on 3rd place.
Yeah, and top French rider so far, Antoine Philippe, a Massey rider, number 44 on the board, but up to 12th at the moment.
Yeah, the strongest French riders not here.
Yep.
Jordan Theroux, Victor Koretsky.
Yeah, they've got a thing they need to get to later in the summer, don't they? I forget what it's called.
We'll find out.
We'll find out, yeah, soon enough. The Olympic Games, massive, massive event on the cross-country calendar. Mountain biking's only format. It shows there, and Team France racing at home in France, in Paris.
Yeah, they have the favorites in both categories.
It has been an absolute pressure cooker of a season for them, but and we always see this. There's always really unpredictable racing in the Olympic years. Different racers opt out of races, other racers peak at different times, and really hard to predict just what's going to go on. Flukiger, though, is the one leading the way here himself. Caused a load of headlines being selected ahead of Filippo Colombo and Marcel Guerini for the Swiss team, but looking like he's rewarding the selectors today. Flukiger.
Yeah, Gaze just rolling past Andreasen, then up to 5th place. Schwartzbauer climbing well today.
Yep, told us on the line that he wasn't going to give it fully 100%, but he'll just go 99.
99.
It's enough to power most homes for the rest of the year.
But I think that's partly how you have to race today. We've got, 8 laps is the longest race, 2 big climbs. I think if you approach it with 99%, you're probably going to pace the better and do a better last lap for sure.
We saw Rispitz, didn't we, do it, and she just paced herself, rode her own race, didn't rush at the start.
Yeah, definitely on this course, the gaps right now, they're not that big after a couple of laps already. So I think everything is possible. It will be a long race as well, 8 laps.
Matthias Flukiger descending really, really well at the front. And you can just see those 2 bikes, the Tumas and the Cannondale, just how long the wheelbase in these modern cross-country bikes has become now. Really aggressive on descents.
Short stems, slack head angles, getting more of a trail bike look to it.
That's faster.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's faster on descent. It's more comfortable. It's less energy going through the rider.
And each year, the technicality of these circuits just gets higher and higher, and that technical side becomes a bigger aspect of the sport, and the bike design going with it.
There's Andrew Frischneck, son of Thomas Frischneck and teammate of Filippo Colombo.
The fastest lap time right now goes to Luca Braido, first lap, just below 10 minutes.
Look at Matthias Flukiger absolutely hurtling down through the bike park here in Leger, keeping the wheels on the ground that time.
Yeah, happily riding well, and he's keeping in within a sensible distance, but what we're going to find is at the bottom of every descent, if Matthias Flukiger just keeps grabbing 5-6 meters, happily has to respond, and every time he has to close that, he just burns another match.
There is Luca Braido in 3rd.
Braido doing a good job, but I think he's settling into time trial mode now in 3rd place.
And there is an attack from Matthias Flukiger, excuse me. Thinking of his brother there for a second.
It felt like Matthias Flukiger was a little bit faster in that off-camera slippery corner.
You see Happily just having to make a bit of an effort, have to squeeze a little bit harder on the pedals just to get back on.
And I think Matthias Flukiger's bike looks like it's got a different colour tyre sidewall on the rear, so I wonder if he's gone with a mixed setup with the tyres today.
Good speed through Happily through there.
Closing that gap right back down again on one obstacle.
And it's rare you see someone pull one over Flukiger.
Look at Flukiger.
He's pushing really hard, definitely not waiting. Testing each other constantly.
Hands in by the stem, going at the clappers. Mateusz Flückiger's here to race today. Third place currently is this man on your screen now, Luca Braido, as he comes round to finish off his fourth lap.
Yeah, he lost a little bit of time.
Halfway already. Really, really high pace at the front of this one.
And Gay's coming through. He's now dropped Schwartzbauer. So the big Kiwi, generally good endurance, finishes strong. We saw with the Worlds last year coming through heavy.
Mateusz Flückiger into the tech feed zone now to take a bottle. Alan Haverly stayed out. Sam Gay just crosses the line in front of our commentary booth in fourth place to give you an idea of how far up the road these pair are.
Yeah, another rider coming through. Semenya Vendetto as well, the Villiers rider. He missed last race, but a strong rider with...
European champion.
Yeah.
Became world champion here in the under-23 category 2 years ago.
Knows the course, likes the course.
Yep. Good climber, yes.
Yeah, sixth in round 4, but not a podium yet so far this year. He's having a great season, big step up.
Yeah, qualified for Olympics as well for Italy, together with Luca Braido, who is third at the moment.
I am excited about this one. You know, I cannot wait to see these two go bar to bar for the rest of the race. We were treated to an absolute display from Flückiger in the finals last season when he took on Tom Pidcock in the wet in Mont Saint Anne. He's going to take on Alan Haverly in slightly drier conditions today.
Yeah, Alan Haverly battling with Nino Schurter and Val di Sol, where he finished second and Nino won the race. And now again with another Swiss rider, Mateusz Flückiger. Here he is.
Say water is just about the only thing left to drink in this place after the downhill party last night. Mateusz Flückiger got a big mouthful of it there, just cooling himself down as well, so temperatures must be creeping up.
Yeah, it's how intense this sport, how the core temperature just rises. It's 18 degrees or so, and you think that, but they're really burning hot, right up close to the maximum on these climbs.
Sam Gaze.
Yeah, he's looking good, looking strong. Fourth place, 45 seconds back.
Yeah, and Lukas Schwartzbauer as well, doing probably the best ride of the season so far. He's been having a really good, consistent year, and his overall is high, but just not quite getting up to this kind of podium positions. But today he's riding really strong, good rhythm.
Yeah, we just saw a small glimpse of Antoine Philippe, the first French rider here in Léger.
Yeah.
Chasing hard of that chasing group.
Yeah, good ride.
On 8th place, he is.
Haven't been in the top 20 so far this season, so yeah, big step up.
Sam Fox from Lapierre Mavic Unity's had a big crash on that final rock section. And here we go, Haverly past Flückiger at the front of the race now. Alan Haverly fancies taking a turn at the front.
Yeah, and I think Flückiger was keen to get into those rocks first. He likes this section, but it's an advantage for Haverly. If he can keep Flückiger behind him, it means at the start of the next climb, he doesn't have to close that gap. Every time he has to close that gap when he's forced to, it's just a little bit of energy every time.
These two really popular riders being roared on the whole way around here in Léger. As they head down this little descent. Flückiger just leaving about a bike of space between himself and the rider in front, Alan Haverly.
You see this sometimes with Flückiger, he pushes hard, really hard, and then he relaxes a little bit, sits back a bit, and even when he's leading out in front, he has this kind of on and off, and he just keeps pushing sometimes.
They are testing out each other, and of course, if they have a small gap, they will keep on pushing, but so far, there's nothing in between these two. And Haverly, we know, yeah, he's a strong rider.
And Bart, as a racer, what are you looking for? What's the tell?
I mean, now as well, you could see Mateusz Flückiger, he's behind Alan Haverly now, and he can see and feel as well which strength he has, if he's strong enough, fast enough in these sections, or is it Mateusz Flückiger who felt, oh, I'm a bit faster, next lap I will try it. Yeah. And you can see here as well, you need to have a little bit of a distance in between the rider in front of you, otherwise you will crash into him.
Yeah, it's a high-speed game of poker.
Yeah, and there's even not that much traction to brake hard. And now again, it's Matthias Flückiger who has to close that gap, so it costs him a little bit of extra energy.
Yeah, closing that final like 10 meters. That's a big effort.
If you have to do it 8 times, at the end you have to pay for that.
Here we go.
And in the previous lap, it was the opposite.
Flückiger having to dig deep to get back on the back of Alan Havley up this climb. And Havley is a little over his shoulder.
Yeah, he feels that he's stronger here on this climb. And sometimes it's also just a bad moment what you have if you didn't take your gel or your energy to you.
Havley really pushing on now. You see him look behind, big attack, and he's putting the hurt on now.
This is classic Alan Havley doing the damage over a longer distance.
Yeah, sometimes it's also a mental game. If they are almost equal in strength, it's a mental game as well.
Here we go. Luca Braido, 3rd place. Oh, front end of the Santa Cruz Blur, nearly getting away from then off the edge of the track. Braido in all kinds of problems. Braido now 38 seconds back after that. Flückiger apparently has 4 seconds between him and Haverly, so we'll need to rejoin the front of the race soon and see how that one's shaping up.
Yeah, and Sam Gaze, he's not... Oh, there's a group of 3 again. But Sam Gaze leading that group.
Andreasen and Avendetto in there. 177 beats per minute from a possible 192 for Gaze.
Yeah, pushing a big gear. Sam Gaze here on this climb. Out of the saddle again. Using his body weight as well a little bit to push hard.
Such a big, powerful rider, Gaze, but really an all-round talent as well, not just horsepower.
Well, also cross-country, definitely Olympics, his main goal as well this season. And that's the difference in between the numbers 1 and 2 in the race now.
There's the lead of the bike race, Alan Haverly then. Matthias Flückiger looks like he's on the ropes a little bit here. In the battle for 4th, led by Sam Gaze currently, then it's Andreasen.
Yeah, Schwarzbauer must have been in between Flückiger and this group, or isn't he anymore?
Schwarzbauer's in 7th currently.
Okay.
Yeah, looking a bit further back as well in the fight for the overall. Filippo Colombo, Scott Schramm. Good start, but then drifting back now, 19th place at the moment.
Yeah, not quite at the races, Filippo Colombo today. And this group is homing in now on the rider in 3rd place, Luca Braido. So Sam Gaze driving the train forward.
So Gaze clearly had some good legs. Saw that in the short track.
Alan Hadley's pushing hard.
Yeah, 8 seconds now between himself and Matthias Flückiger.
54 to Braido.
Gaze, Andreasen, Avendetto, 4th, 5th and 6th. There's Schwarzbauer in the back of the shot in the purple and white jersey of the Canyon Collective.
There he is.
And Coladani's leading the train by himself as well behind them in 8th place currently.
Yeah, really, really big group there. There's Zanotti, Schleub, Lichter as well.
David Lexware rider having a really good season. There's Aldridge further back than maybe the Cannondale Factory Racing squad would have hoped. 14th.
Julian Schleub, 12th place now.
Yeah, Schleub obviously last race. 5th position for the German rider. Really, really big performance.
Yeah, that Jason group is quite big. They stay very close together.
That gap going out, big lap now for Haverly, and he's just got to carry that speed. And I think if he can get to the bottom of this and keep a gap from Flückiger, and in the next lap he can really smash that hill again.
13 seconds the gap from Haverly back to Flückiger, so he's found 5 seconds in the middle of this lap, and there it is on screen, the rider in red at the top now. Matthias Flückiger.
He never won a World Cup, did he, Alan Haverly?
No.
Not in cross-country Olympic.
No, I mean cross-country Olympic, yes.
Yeah, it's funny when he's so consistent, podiums after podium.
Yeah, but also in the overall.
Yeah,
he might leave over here with the leader's jersey.
I know that was a big goal of the Cannondale Factory Racing squad. As the weekend got underway, Alan Haverly is putting himself in the driving seat to achieve it. At the minute, looks down to his right-hand side, will not see Matthias Flückiger yet. 20 seconds now, the difference back to Flückiger. So he's found another 7 seconds. What a display from Alan Haverly.
That's the 3rd place. the Italian champion.
So that group led by Gaze now just 10 seconds behind, and the way that Gaze is driving that one, it won't be too far till I think they catch Brido.
There is Brido. There's a visual on that gap. Sam Gaze, the rider in blue, hunting him down.
Yeah, I think it's a matter of time before they catch him.
What do we think of Andreasen here? Is he just sort of hitchhiking onto the back of Gaze and getting himself back to the front? Or
so obviously Andreasen's had a couple of rides now where he hasn't, you know, just hasn't quite been firing, and I think today he needs a really good, solid, definitely a top 10 for a confidence-building ride. And I think if he's got the excuse of being able to follow because his teammate's in front, I think that's even better.
Here comes Matthias Flukiger over the line then. Let's get an update on that gap. 23 seconds.
Yeah.
24.
It's a telling sign. It's a bit difficult for Matthias Flukiger to close that gap again.
What do you think's happened there, Bart? Just legs have gone, or?
Yeah, maybe he was, I don't know. He was pushing harder in the descents to open the gap to Alan Hatterley, but yeah, he responds all the time, and then suddenly Alan Hatterley was leading, and then on that previous climb he pushed a little bit harder with a small gap at the bottom he had after the descent.
I think it was as much that Hatterley increased the pace as Flukiger dropped pace. I think it was a bit of a combination of both, but you see Hatterley looked behind him on that climb, realised that he had a bit of a gap, and then just really went for it and pressed on.
And here this chasing group, none of them like to work, and especially not Simon Andreas, of course. His teammate leading this race. Simone Avondetto, third, and then we have Lucas Schwarzbauer. Yeah, Sam Gaze has to work hard to close that gap to Luca Brido in front of him. Not that much help for him. 10 seconds for the third place.
What are the team tactics then, Bart? If you're Simon Andreasen, will you be getting a message that Alan's in the lead?
Yeah, probably he sees that as well. I mean, that gap is about a minute. Yeah, and sometimes they see and developing how the race goes on as well. So, and probably also Phil Dixon, the coach of the team manager, they will inform him as well. And for Simon Andreasen, no reason to push hard to close that gap. He can sit down in the wheel of Sam Gaze, save some energy, and definitely when it comes down to that last podium spot or the last two podium spots, he will try to make it.
But I think on this circuit there's so little flat fast section that the slipstreaming is less important. You know, if you've got that long straight at Nova Mesta, for example, you can sit behind a group and not contribute and actually slow a group down, whereas here I think it's more difficult. You just I think Andreasen is just going to sit there trying to hitch a ride off Sam Gaze, who's clearly got some good legs today.
Just a word for that rider in the white jersey as well, Simone Avondetto, great ride.
Yeah, he's having a cracking season so far. From the get-go in Brazil, he came out strong there with a top 10.
But riders still close together. I mean, look at this big group. How many riders?
Yeah.
Very close together. They all can have a good race.
Yeah, where we see Avondetto obviously running European Champions top when he rode that day. Really, really strong in horrible, muddy, cold conditions, but he was really fast on the technical stuff, and on the routes up here today and the good climbs, you know, it's really suited to his strengths.
Here we go, the comparison between Aldridge and Zanotti. 180 plays, 178 beats per minute live. Yeah, I really felt for you commentating on those European Championships. There wasn't much to see.
You couldn't see the riders. They were just coated head to toe in mud, no number boards.
I was visiting the race next to the course. I felt sorry for the riders to have a race in these conditions. It was so cold.
Yeah.
It was so many rain.
One of the hardest races I've
ever seen.
Yeah.
It was like 2 degrees, constantly rain.
I've never seen a race where riders have started and finished in a rain jacket. That's a first for me. And I'm glad I was sat in a little booth in London.
It felt like they weren't even prepared for conditions like that. Nobody expected it that cold.
Oh, Alan Haverly skating his way down over those routes. Really, really attacking on that Cannondale now.
Yeah, and coming into there, as the mud's got dragged down, super slippery, so he just has to stick a foot out, stay upright, but
30 seconds is the gap between these two. Alan Haverley attacking that route section like a young Kenta Gallagher.
But we saw when that gap appeared, it was, he had one lap where he just went out like he was doing a hot lap. Really, really pinning it everywhere, attacking the climbs, and a neat line there, by the way. But
that's a great line.
But it was almost like Haverley's played this consistent game. It's almost like Flukiger just went over the limit just on one lap and then paid for it the following lap because maybe just got a little bit carried away.
It almost feels like Alan Haverley's it's faster than Matthias Flukiger over there on that route section.
Well, the returning Joshua Bowe, just an update for you, down in 48th position, but still obviously finding his feet back on the race bike to be expected. These three remain to be together.
Yeah, a bit more than 20 seconds now between Luca Braido and Sam Gaze, that group of Sam Gaze.
We mentioned it in the elite women's race, Bart, but heading into the Paris 2024 Olympic Games, there are so many contenders for the medals. There are a few favourites, but then like the list of talent behind them, huge.
It is. I think definitely Tom Pidcock. He's one of the favourites. Nina Schurter, who's not here. One of the favourites for a medal, definitely. Victor Koretsky, Jordan Sarou. But then also these riders.
Yeah, see Sam Gage just going for the low line there. Avendetto had the anchor up before that drop.
Yeah, Sam Gage just...
Here's a moment for Luca Braido in third.
He had a 20 seconds lead to that chasing group, but
Whoa! Whoa!
Yeah, we saw
I'd be lucky.
Got away with that one, didn't he?
Yeah.
Got unclipped from the pedals just in time.
We
got
saw
off the bike.
almost identical crash to Gwen Gibson in the women's race, just as they were coming off the board. Just maybe just a lack of concentration. Just
now together,
and that's put him right back into the clutches of this Gaze group behind him.
I mean, that crash has cost him kind of 30 seconds or so, but luckily it didn't cost him the out the race.
And just like that, like how often do we talk about it in this sport? That could have been your Olympics gone right there. Stick a hand out, stick an ankle out.
Yeah, he might be lucky that he didn't hurt himself too bad. But definitely he felt that crash.
So that it's now 1 minute 25 from the rider in the front of this group to the front of the race, Luca Braido. He was in a bit of clear air by himself, but then had an accident all on his own off that drop section.
So these four riding for the third place.
I'll tell you, he's coming up fast. Antoine Philippe, the Massey rider.
Lucas Schwarzbauer still on his own, chasing hard to get back to this group. Seventh place, Lucas Schwarzbauer, there he is.
Alan Haverley leads the way by 38 seconds now from Matthias Flukiger, so Flukiger needs to stem his losses here somehow.
But they're taking off the laps quickly now.
Yeah.
Lap 5 out of 8 already.
Lap time's just a little bit above 10 minutes. 10:17, the last lap of Alan Haverley it was.
Fastest lap currently sitting with Luca Braido. Alan Haverley second, Matthias Flukiger's third in that competition. Lucas Schwarzbauer looking like he's labouring slightly there in seventh.
Yeah, he's coming back.
Coming back to that group, and it's just his style. He always works. Looks like he's working really hard.
Yeah, but look at this group. They're also not that far off. Nadir Koledani, Antoine Philippe, Thomas Licher.
Koledani's doing all the work at the front of this one.
David List.
And Andreasen now. Andreasen blows past Braido, as does Gaze, as does Avendetto.
I think that's a good move from Andreasen. You know that Braido, having just had that crash in the next descent, he's going to be a bit slow, he's going to be a bit tight. So
when he comes into that drop again, his heart is going to be in his mouth. Horrible that whenever you get away with one, then have to ride the same thing over again.
You're trying to banish it from your mind and try and relax, but there'll be a little bit where you're just a little bit tighter in your shoulders.
The thing is more difficult than it looks like on TV. It's more slippery, that section over there.
Yeah, it's not getting any sunlight really in those woods either, so maybe just a little bit more moisture knocking around.
Yeah, this tight top section, it winds around. You come at it from two different times. Once when the top of the first climb, once the top of the second climb. But they say there's no sunlight in here, so the rocks are still wet, the roots are still slippery. And this line here coming around the corner where we saw Matthias looking to run the second lap.
And this will have been a busy morning for the teams, Bart, won't it? Working out what setup to go with as the weather continued to dry. And
yeah, you have to be prepared actually with your tires, your wheels for every condition, because the course is drying quickly, and it's a latest moment decision. It's a combination of the mechanics, the riders, some of the riders' feedback from previous categories, which tires they're going to run. And then still, it's also a preference rider's choice.
Yeah, and you can see how slippery those rocks are getting. The riders are having to just line them. They can only go in a straight line. You can't turn on them.
What happened that though?
Good out, flat out. Alan Haverly leading the way. 47 seconds the gap back to Matthias Flukiger. We're watching the battle for third place.
It's like you said, they dropped Lukas Braido here.
Yeah. Andreasen was desperate to get past. He knew he wanted to get that front into the descent. And it's paying off, just getting that little gap.
Sam Gates had a big crash on those jumps at the UCI World Champs here in 2022. Just misjudged the landing and shot into the crowd, if you remember.
Overjumped, actually.
Overjumped, yeah.
Tables. Broke his collarbone, I think it was.
That's right, yeah.
I think one of his biggest regrets, he knew he had the form that day. And
I mean, he became a world champion short track, I think, one of the 2 days before.
Andreasen's super good on his descents. He looks like he's got this really nice style, heel down, and he just flows. It looks effortless. He's riding so fast, but not looking like it's taking a load of energy.
Another good story about Sam Gaze that year was he became world champion marathon.
Yeah.
I mean, without, I think it was like 5 weeks after his broken collarbone here in Leger. He won the...
And amazing to go from short track over 20 minutes to marathon over 5 hours. You know?
Amazing to hold on to the front end around that corner from Sam Gaze. Managed to do it, though. Yeah, he's definitely, when you look at the results, just one of the most complete cross-country racers.
And handy on a road bike as well, Sam Gaze.
Yeah, he's not
part
bad.
of the Alpecin team, a real all-rounder. Yeah, he's a big, strong horse. If you had him on the flat on a day, he'd be a good wheel to follow.
Teammates of Buck Peterson, who won the women's race earlier today.
Yep, Cannondale Factory Racing had their eyes on that team's overall race at the start of this one, and to see if Haverly could get leapfrog his way up the overall.
Yeah, Luca Braido is going back after that descent. Just a few bike lengths.
Alan Haverly currently second in the cross-country Olympic overall behind Nino Schurter. There's second place. Matthias Flukiger, 47 seconds now back off that man, the leader, Alan Haverly.
Yeah, it's looking good for Alan Haverly.
It's a new situation for Haverly. Quite often you see him in somebody, whether it's a Nino or whether it's a Flukiger, just always second best to them on the day, and he's trying to follow them. I remember watching this race and just off the back, and he's so consistent and so good, but up till now just missing that last little bit.
Yeah. Sam Gaze staying out of the tech feed zone as Simone Avendetto takes the lead of the trio that entered it.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that line is a little bit better rolling.
Aldridge back in 18th behind Marcel Guarini. Looks like he's been down somewhere dirt on the right-hand side of the shoulder.
Yep, it is.
Here we go.
Oof.
Oh, yeah, it was just going wrong for a while, and he stopped really suddenly there.
Yeah, it's a hard crash on his side.
You never want to see that when a rider hits the deck and stops.
Yeah, but with all these routes, it stops.
And the worst time, you know, he's got to get back on the bike, get clipped in before dropping into a blind drop to roots. So
and do you have to then also silence all the thoughts about the Olympics? He's going as part of Team GB. Does that all of a sudden creep in? You've got to close the door?
Yeah, you will feel immediately how bad it is.
Yeah.
If it hurts really bad, then you know it's not good at all. But probably on that side, there's still some muscles who protect yourself.
Just crossed the line outside our commentary booth. Christopher Blevins in 26th and Filippo Colombo in 27th. Bart, Specialized Factory Racing, an absolute winning machine at the start of the year, but now...
Really weird.
Vidari's in 14th.
Yeah. We have to ask Benno.
174 beats per
what's going
minute.
on?
for Sam Gaze. Yeah, it's I don't know, the focus on the Olympics is it's such a difficult one to gauge across the different teams. Ollie.
It's also sometimes if you are in a winning mood, you are not that focused anymore, I would say, but maybe you are celebrating a little bit too much, and then your contenders are working harder or pushing harder, are a little bit more serious, and then they overtake you.
Vendetto now, it's first time he's hit the front of this group and he's just putting the pressure on.
Yeah.
Patriot Brido had done a good job and recovered and was just sat on the back.
It was Lucas Schwarzbauer who almost got back to this group, but it looks like now he's lost a little bit of seconds again.
I wonder if he's had an accident somewhere as well. 54 seconds is the gap at the front as Alan Haverly continues to extend it to approaching a minute.
Vendetto chose to miss the race in Crans-Montana last week, and probably, like I say, something like a lot of guys do, they're opting out of the odd race to swap it for training camps. And
you see Antoine Philippe now coming closer to Lucas Schwarzbauer with Nadir Koladani in his wheel. And also Thomas Lichter is still in touch.
And that is a battle.
Love it, List.
There is the leader, Alan Haverly, on the number 2 bike for Cannondale Factory Racing, chipping away at this track in Leger. Looking really strong, Bart, up out the saddle.
I mean, he's having a good time here on this course. You can see how he's pedaling. He looks relaxed, but going very fast.
Yeah, we see now he's got this gap. It's approaching a minute. You know, he'll be aware of that. The team will tell him that, which means you can just chill a little bit.
Yeah,
you're not under so much pressure, and you don't have to fight for every second.
And he will have a look over his shoulder once in a while if he can see who's behind him, Matthias Flücker, but probably no sign of him. Lars Forster, number 13 on his back. Which position he is?
Back in 24th for the Swiss Thomas Maxen rider. So
real up and down season.
Yeah. But also sometimes he likes to ride in these slippery, muddy conditions.
Yeah, like he had good success in Leogang and races like that before. That
performance in Leogang last year when he came from really in the back of the mid group all the way to the front was absolutely superb.
But Haverly, you just see the power, just every turn and corner, just coming out. The speed slows, and it's 3 or 4 pedal revs back to that kind of really fast. I call it a cruising speed, but it's a high tempo.
Well, there's more attacks going on deeper in the group. Gaze and
this is the short track.
And it's to cover off an attack from Simone Avendetto.
Yeah, but also Simon Andres is still looking strong.
Yeah.
He responds immediately when Sam Gaze attacked.
Remember the Cannondale team just roaring some advice over to Simon Andreasen. So there'll be team members dotted all around the track for these big name riders, just passing on time gaps, information, encouragement.
And that pressure for Avendetto's just put Luca Brido just out the back.
Sam Gaze just moves in division now to say, I had that one, don't worry about it.
The fight for the 3rd spot on the podium.
It's funny, they're almost just playing with each other a little bit. Nobody wants to take it on this section.
If he's acting like that, watch out for Sam Gaze. He's the strongest. Dictating the pace.
Yeah, an absolute beast of a bike rider, Sam Gaze, buoyed by an extremely good short track performance on Friday evening.
I would say that chasing group of 4, but Lucas Schwarzbauer leading that group is not that far off.
No, these front group, they're not pushing 100%. I think there's a bit of caginess going on. I think the gap to Haverly and then the gap to Flückinger is too big. They're out of sight. So they're really thinking about that 3rd place.
Yeah, here we see it. Yeah, maybe they're still able to close that gap. Antoine Philippe behind Lucas Schwarzbauer. And then we have Nadir Koladani over there. And that pink sleeves.
But that ride from Philippe as well. You see 44 on the number board. He's had to work his way back. He had a good short track. First time he's allowed in the short track, and he's worked his way up through into a team start, making the best of it like we saw Schlelb do in Crans-Montana last week, getting a good grid and then using it for the XCO, and riding in the top 10 would be a massive PB for him.
Here we go, Andreasen just moving out.
Yeah.
And Andreasen probably the best technical out of this group, and he wants the 1st position going into the descent. He's worth the effort for him just to make that, not an attack, but just that acceleration to lead into the descent.
So Antoine Philippe's best result of the season was 18th, as you say, Ollie, in the short track. Prior to that, 22nd in Cron, Montana.
Yeah, it's a big jump up. I say top, in the absence of Sarou and Koretsky, the top French rider at the moment.
As we pass the hour mark on lap 6 out of 8, Alan Haverly leads the way, and he does so by 1 minute and 3 seconds from Mateusz Flukiger. But the battle for third is really heating up. Andreas and Avendetto, Gies, Brido, all locked in battle. Here they are.
Yeah, if we speak about the French riders, I mean, Pauline Franprevot and Loane Lecomte, definitely...
Oh, Gies off the bike, just loses the front end, jumps off. Doesn't seem to have cost him too much time. He can...
Yes, running now.
Get moving again. Just a momentary lapse of concentration there. And you can see just in the bottom of that shot, Kenta Gallagher straight on the radio, letting the Cannondale Factory Racing team know that. Andreasen probably get an update. Gies again.
A mistake of Sam Gies.
It's that pressure from Andreasen in the front. He's putting the pressure on, and he's forcing the others to just go over their limit a little bit.
But still close together, these four.
And Avendetto can follow Andreasen, but Brido and Gies just finding that technical pace just that bit too hot.
Yeah, Sam Gies a little bit off now. He has to push hard to come back again.
And to stay calm.
Over these jumps.
Gies on that canyon with the fixed seat post. No dropper for him. Nice big wide line there through the roots. Here we go, let's watch that Gies moment again. Ollie, talk us through it.
Yeah, just coming into this big turn, it's all the big roots everywhere, and he just loses the front wheel. And I think it's just Andreas, and he's just pushing a little bit too hard.
He did well.
Rider. I mean, he did well to recover, but you get off, and you don't lose the time getting off. But when you get up back on, by the time you've clipped in, you see Brido right back on the wheel. We saw it with flicking at a lap before, just losing a bit of time.
Bart, we saw that secondary sort of little bobble when he couldn't clip back in again. Is that a direct result of that bigger off? You know, has he sort of got out of his rhythm?
Yeah, I mean, also maybe there might be some dirt under his shoes, under his cleat, that he didn't find his pedal immediately and couldn't click in directly. But yeah, he was a little bit under pressure. You could see that as well. A little bit stressed, and that's because Simon Andreas is pushing so hard, so he's putting the pressure on him. And now he's working hard to stay with that group. But on the same moment, he's making a lot of mistakes.
But you see the effort that Gies has got to make, and big sprint out the saddle like a short track attack.
It's not a comfortable speed for him at the moment. It's a little bit too fast.
It's a really good ride from Andreas in this, you know. Looking really, really strong out there.
Yeah, 2 more laps if they cross the line. So, it's the final of the race.
We'll see Andreasen.
They might slow down now here on the start-finish straight, and that might help Sam Gies a little bit to find his rhythm again and to get back into the race. And you see here now Simon Andreasen going to the side.
Yeah. What's he pointing towards? Sam Gies just rode past our commentary booth looking seriously disinterested, like he wasn't going to look at Alan Andreasen. And
look at the mud here of the rear wheel of Alan Haverly.
Look at the wheels both sliding in unison underneath Alan Haverly.
I think it was Andreasen speaking to the other guys and saying, look, we can see Flukiger, he's only 30 seconds in front. We just need, if we can work together, we can pull this back.
Well, we haven't seen this man for a while. The leader is out front in a bubble all of his own. 1 minute, 5 seconds up the road from Mateusz Flukiger, Alan Haverly.
Antoine Philippe now, Massey rider, up to 7th place now. Just dropping Schwarzbauer by a few metres.
Pierre de Fremont, 12th place, with Yuri Zanotti behind him. It was Geoffrey Culel, the Spanish rider, on 14th place.
Yeah, and Thomas Lütscher, the Swiss rider from Lapierre. He had a great short track, always strong in the short track, but so far this year haven't been able to back it up in the XCO, but sitting 10th at the moment for Lütscher.
Well, Andreasen's rallying cries remain unanswered. He still leads this group.
These guys are coming back there.
Feels like that.
Yeah.
Not that big anymore, that gap in between these two groups.
Yeah, Schwarzbauer and Gies separated by 13 seconds. So they could come back together. And then it would be a battle royale for third place.
A little bit of a gap in between Sam Gaze and the 3 riders in front of him.
Yeah, and Caledonia, you see in the background, the Santa Cruz rider with the pink sleeves, pushing hard, and he had to stop 38th on the grid as well, so big push through for the Italian.
But especially on these sections where riders can see each other for a long time in front of them, they can read their body language as well, if they are suffering or not, or they're going fast or not. And that helps them, it can motivate them as well.
But this penultimate lap's a tough one. Really tough mentally, because you're not near the end yet. You know, so still a long way. You've got a lot of climbing, a lot of descending. But the fatigue is really... Once you get onto the last lap, you're kind of like, right, I've got this now. Like the penultimate is the... that's the toughie.
Here we go in the Red Bull routes and rolls section for the penultimate time, Alan Haverly.
Yeah, you see just super smooth.
Yeah. I hung a foot off there each lap.
Yeah, but if you look at the lap times of the top 10 riders, there's almost nothing in between these. Just a few seconds in between these riders. Alan Natalie definitely the fastest.
Yeah, but that is that lap 4 from Haverly, a 10:17 versus Flückinger's 10:41. That was that lap where he had a little wobble.
Yeah, the gap's now 1 minute and 6 seconds back to second place. Mathias Flückiger, we thought we might be treated to a bar-to-bar duel between these two at the front for the duration of the race, but Alan Haverly had other ideas. And is he on the cusp of doing the double, getting the short track win and the cross-country Olympic? There is second place man, Mathias Flückiger. A podium for him today would bring him to a career total of 37, same as a legend, Thomas Frischknecht. 37 career podiums, Bart, huge.
Yeah, second place last week in Crans Montana with Pitcock as a winner. And now Alan Natalie leading the race with Mathias Flückiger again on the second place.
Just looking at one of those riders as well. You know, there was that year where he was second at Worlds, second at Olympics.
Yeah, if you have Nino next to you.
Amazing results, but still so frustrated at the end of it, that big one so far.
At least he's the Swiss champion at the moment.
And that is not an easy jersey to win.
Next week, I think they have it in Switzerland. National Championships, cross country. Many nations have it.
There's Gears, third place. Ooh. So he's made a break from this group as a big attack from Sam Gears.
How did he do that? We haven't seen it.
Off our screens, Sam Gears has broken free of this group that he's been in for so long, and I guess now we find out why he looked so uninterested in Simon Andreassen's pleas to try and move forward. Top right of your picture here, Sam Gears goes now on the outside and just...
That's the attack of him.
Hits the blue, lights the blue touch paper and
but
goes.
Look at the power, what he's delivering right now.
An unusual place to attack as well, right at the top into those rocks. It's worked for him.
But he looks almost like he's doing a short track race now, the power.
Right, Sam Gears 2 minutes back of Alan Haverly.
Wow.
Third place for Sam Gaze.
We've seen one unbelievable comeback ride from him already this weekend. We're not going to see another, are we?
8 seconds to Simon Andreassen, who's chasing hard behind him. But look at this power.
And Andreassen will feel mugged after this. He's been begging for someone else to do some of the work for a while, and Sam Gaze has just kept the poker face on.
But what a time to come into this top form. He was great in Brazil that first round, won the short track, 6th in the XCO, but you haven't seen him. He had a knee injury for a little while.
A couple of niggles, hasn't he?
But the form he showed in the short track, coming back from last, to get back almost to winning the race.
Andreassen, though, still with
Avendetto, yeah.
Looking like he's struggling to respond to this attack from Gaze.
But that wasn't a kind of average acceleration. I mean, to be attacking like that on lap 7, really, really, really aggressive.
Look at this rear wheel sliding here over these roots.
You said before, Sam Gaze, one of the riders without the drop seat post. He's got the fixed post there, which means it's harder to get his body weight down and back.
Fair play to him. I do not get it, but it works for Sam Gaze.
Nice shot it was.
If I was out there, that one was 200
Look at him.
mils.
He's on the move now, though, that gap dropping back. He's the fastest rider at the moment on the course, closing the gap to Haverly. coming back to Flückiger.
Flückiger, 1 minute and 11 off the back of Haverly. Gaze inside 2 minutes of the leader now. On lap 7 out of 8. Andreasen doesn't look like he has the legs to go. No, look. Gaze disappearing up the top of that climb now. And there is Luca Braido.
Yeah, but it's only a 10 seconds gap in between Gaze and Andreasen, not that much. Alan Hatterley leading.
Absolutely trucking through those woods. Alan Haverly heads into these famous bike park turns.
But you see, Haverly just really methodical, really efficient. You get some riders, as lovely as it looks, you know, on the doubles, flat tabletops, but he's just carrying speed, getting from A to B as quickly and as efficiently as possible.
He's really consistent across a race, isn't he? Koladani, Schwarzbart.
Yeah, Koladani up to 8 now.
19.
Koladani in 7th.
Yeah, overtaking Lukas Schwarzbauer now. Thomas Licha.
Koladani 6th last time in Crans Montana, so they'll be on a mission to beat that today, but a podium for the Italian would be unbelievable ride.
Be huge, absolutely huge.
And the person standing in his way between the next spot and 6th is his own teammate, Luca Braido, both on the Sapton Cruise.
Oh, a little bit of a mistake.
Mistakes creeping in now for Avendetto.
And that was the section where Gaze had a problem before. It's a really difficult corner, big roots, super slippery.
Yeah,
There's no sun getting into the woods there.
A couple of different line choices over there, but yeah, a lot of roots, not that easy.
Here he comes, Matthias Flückiger, going real deep off there again.
A minute 12 back on the leader in the race.
Alan Haverly's just crossed the line on to his final lap now for Alan Haverly.
10 minutes away from that World Cup win.
What a ride from him today. What style to take it in as well, Bart.
Yeah, he told us last Friday he has been on altitude for almost 6 weeks.
Wow.
So in combination, of course, with all the races he did. But it pays off for him now.
Yeah, it's been great for the riders having these last... We've had 3 races in 4 weeks, but all in a similar region, all at medium altitude or higher altitude.
Yeah,
and it means you can stay local, do your training, but also as well compete in the races as well. So happily taking full advantage of that.
And also, if you can leave this race, the last biggest race for the Olympics, with a lot of confidence.
Yep. Alan Haverly.
So nice.
He was 3rd in Arasha, 2nd in Val di Sole Trentino.
And he's heading. And he will leave here with the leaders here.
Yeah. And he's heading towards not only his first UCI Cross Country Olympic World Cup win, but as Bart said, the overall points leaders jersey. What a summer of bike racing Cannondale have happened so far. They've already had the yellow jersey in the Tour de France. Yep, Flückiger, for all the debate and discussion around him getting that Swiss Olympic spot. Filippo Colombo currently in 26th place. Matthias Flückiger in 2nd.
Marcel Guerini, he is on 18.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, Licha, he's 10th place.
Flückiger, as ever, a class act, answering his critics the best way he knows how from a race bike. Oh, and Detlo taking a big gamble over those rocks.
Yeah, if it comes down to a more like a sprint finish in between these two. It's Luca Braido behind him.
Yeah, and Braido as well. He had that little bobble mid-race, but he's hung in there. He's kept these two in front within striking distance, and I think with a lap to go, he's going to make contact.
Avendetto just moving past Andreas, and now Luca Braido still in the mix as well. Not done yet, the big Italian.
Yeah, wondering if they can drop each other or that it comes down to a sprint finish in between these 3.
Look at Braido riding himself straight back on the group with it, straight back onto the back of this group.
Yeah, and they're going to have to watch out behind this 3 as well with Landini as well. 20 seconds off now.
Sam Gay is 3rd place as it stands. 1 minute 59 back off Alan Haverly. Looks under his elbow.
Yeah, that gap 10 seconds at the moment from Gaze to this chasing free.
I think this is everything all in from Avendetto up here, you know.
The expression on his face tells everything.
He's not hanging around. The Villiers Victoria rider.
Yeah, who is the fastest if it comes down to a sprint, or who's the fastest in the last descent, who's taking the most risks?
It's a strong group, isn't it? It's hard to pick a winner out of the three of those guys.
I mean, they will see each other as well in 3 weeks' time. Again.
Here we go, Brido. Luca Brido attacking up the left-hand side now, moves past Simon Andreasen and Simone Avendetto. And he's... Luca Brido.
Sam Gaze is not that far in front of them.
All of a sudden has Sam Gaze in his crosshairs. Gaze will see him and know he needs to get a move on here.
It's going to be a big fight for third, and we saw it in Val de Soleil as well. This group of a similar situation, group of 5 or 6 all fighting for third on the last lap.
And more often we have seen very strong finishes of Luca Brido, what he's doing right now again.
Luca Brido right back onto the back wheel of Sam Gaze, and that will come as a surprise to the big Kiwi.
Gaze just needs to get to this last part of the climb now if he can get into the technical stuff and just keep Brido at bay.
Simon Andreas is coming as well, not that far off.
I love an Olympic year, you know. You never know what you're going to get. You never know who's just going to turn up and bring it.
Yeah, then was 3, 4, 5 is Simon Andreas.
So the final lap then. This on your screen is the battle for third place between Sam Gaze and Luca Brido. Alan Haverly of Cannondale Factory Racing has the lead, and it's Matthias Flukiger sitting in second. Brido though, Brido fancies a go at Gaze here, moves past him. Brido up into third place late in the day for Santa Cruz RockShox Pro Team.
What a race he had. He was on the third place for a long time, and now suddenly he's back again on that third place.
Gaze is having to get out of the saddle to stay with him.
Brido had that big off on the rock section as he dropped down. He was sitting there in third, had the big off, managed to recover, and it took him a couple of laps just to kind of probably get his wind back again, because it was a big over the bars.
But hasn't he recovered well though from that?
Yeah, in his last couple of races for Brido, you know, a fourth and a third.
Behind him, it looks like Andreasen has dropped Avendetto. That was all she wrote for Simone Avendetto.
But also Simon Andreas, he's not that far off these two. Here he is. That's number 5 in the race.
Yeah, and we saw Andreasen how strong he finished in Arasha when he won that race. That last lap, he came through like super strong.
Has a strong last lap in him, Simon Andreasen.
5 seconds, but this is less than 5 seconds. He's back.
Also as well,
the numbers 3 and 4 in the race.
We saw the attack that Gaze made. He was all in with that one. Then we saw an attack from Brido, whereas Andreasen's just, this last 2 laps, he's evened out his pace probably a little better than the other 2.
Yeah, comes down now. Who managed his energy right?
Charlie Aldridge, the third Cannondale rider, is currently in 19th, the first-year elite rider. So they're having a good day out there, Cannondale. Looks like Andreasen's just closing in on the back of Sam Gaze, who's trying to stay with Luca Brido. Course looking pretty much perfect out there now, Bart, for this last lap.
Yeah, I mean, but still some of these sections are very slippery, we know that. This is one of them. You see? Sliding over these woods.
All three together.
Woods and rolls.
Andreasen's got a neat little line on the inside. Yeah. Everyone's going sharp right of a big tree. He just cuts around the other side of it.
Whoa, Sam Gaze goes down. Gaze off the side of the track where he had problems before, and now that has allowed Brido and Andreasen to head up the road. Can Gaze recover yet again this weekend in Leger? Let's have a look at it, Ollie.
Yeah, and you just see him come round that off camber. It's where beside Brido actually had an accident a couple of laps ago, and this is one of those it's a lack of concentration really. It's not a difficult section, but you just get the wrong side of the rut, and then that front wheel just drifts out.
Bart Brengens is nodding his head knowingly. That's a tough one, Bart, in the last lap.
Yeah, it is. Even if you are... That's Simone Avendetto was coming back to Sam Gaze. I mean, mentally you have to bounce back again all the time, what he has to do.
But it's really tough. You lose your momentum now.
Yeah.
You know, you're not in the right gear now. You're just a bit annoyed with yourself.
Annoyed about yourself, because it happened before already one time, but he's so quickly back on his bike all the time.
Luca Braido looking super, super strong here in third place.
He's done a great race, especially considering that big accident. He hung in there. It's so easy when you have a big off like that and the group comes past you. Sometimes your head can drop a little bit and you lose the gap and then you're back in 8th and 9th. But fair play to him, he hung in there.
Andreasen being roared on now.
But yeah, great ride from Andreasen as well. Like I say, the last couple of races, issues
strong.
with, I think it's been generally back issues, and when your back goes, you just don't seem to have the power. So much of this sport, you're pulling with your arms, you're pushing with your legs. If your core is having an issue in your back, that's it, you're going to really struggle to ride a mountain bike.
So it's standing at Haverly, Flukiger, Braido, Andreasen, Avendetto and Gears, but everything from Flukiger back is up for grabs at the minute. It's looking like it's going to be a duel between these two. Braido and Andreasen for third place today. Andreasen doing a really good job of covering Braido off up through those climbs.
But happily,
now he goes past him. An attack from Simon Andreasen moves past Luca Braido at the top of the climb.
Yeah, we've seen Andreasen. I think he's got the edge over Braido on the descent, so if he can hold him off and get into the single track first.
Can he hold him off on this straight, though?
Avendetto in 5th place. Sam Gaze, no sign of him here on screen. There he is. 6th.
Avendetto's got past Sam Gears then. I just wonder if Braido's going to fancy a last-minute lunge.
Here we go into this steep climb, really, really hard part of the circuit right now.
Here we go.
Once we're up into here, we then do the zigzags around into the woods, and then it's a drop down.
Braido staying seated. Andreasen out of the saddle.
Yeah, close together.
Such a tough section of the track.
Meanwhile, back at the front, Alan Haverly.
The leader of the race.
What a result this will be, and a very, very popular one amongst fans and the pits.
But a big statement to the game 3 weeks out.
Oh.
Same as Puck Peterson in the women's race.
What a race that is shaping up to be.
Yeah, and his first World Cup win. It's almost there.
World Cup win. Takes the overall. 3 weeks to the game.
But he won also short track.
And the short track, doing the double.
Doing the double, yeah.
There you go.
Not many guys get to do that.
Alan Haverly then heads down into the rock section for the last time. One more rock section to go, and if Haverly wins, he'll be the first African man to win a cross-country Olympic race since the late Barry Stander in 2012. What a result this is. Alan Haverly takes the UCI cross-country Olympic World Cup win in Leger. A debut win for him in this format. Lifts the bike in the air. The South African wins in France. He has been absolutely superb all day long. Alan Haverly rode his own race and rode away from the rest of the chasing pack. Bart, what a result.
Yeah, history has written by him.
Yeah.
The first South African.
Beautifully put. There is Matthias Flukiger. Gave it a good go today. Second place today. Plenty of points. Perhaps most importantly, first of the Swiss home. A big statement answering whatever critics he had.
Still a good race he did.
Yeah.
I mean, he had more often second places. Last time it was in Montana as well. But yeah, again, here today, he showed his strength, his form at the moment. There's still a few weeks' time to work a little bit on it, to sharpen it if it's necessary.
Flukiger on his way then towards the finish line. A brave effort, a great ride, and the perfect springboard into the biggest race going. The Olympic Games await Matthias Flukiger. Matthias Flukiger heads towards the line. Second place today for the Thomas Maxen Swiss mountain bike racing. Team leader shakes a finger. Big smile for Alan Haverly. Plenty of respect between these two. And now we're going to the battle for third place. Simon Andreasen leads Luca Braido into the last stages of this race. Braido has been so brave throughout. Andreasen has done so much work. What's it going to come down to? Andreasen covers off that inside line. It's going to head to a sprint. Has Braido got enough in the bank to get past Andreasen? He's going to have to come from a long way. No, Braido sits up. It's not his today. The day belongs to Cannondale Factory Racing. Simon Andreasen, home in third place, celebrates with Alan Haverly their second XCO win of the year. Luca Braido, 4th place today after a big crash right in the middle of it. Lucky to get away with it. Next home, Simone Avendetto. Whoa. Sam Gaze heading towards the finish line. One spot just off the podium, Sam Gaze, and here we go, they're coming in thick and fast now. This one led by Luca Schwarzbauer heading towards the line.
A strong finish of him.
The German knows he has it. Bart, that looks like the perfect race that Luca wanted today.
Geoffrey Cullel.
Yep, 7th, Geoffrey Cullel is up.
Antoine Philippe, and Nadir Koledani.
Koledani did very well there, another top 10 for him.
Yeah, Antoine Philippe not going to the Olympics, and also Nadir Koledani not going to the Olympics. These two riders.
Schwarzbauer will be happy with that.
Yeah, good finish of him.
A really good warm-up
Sam
for
Gaze
the games.
Sam Gaze probably not that happy after his last lap.
I wouldn't be rushing to interview Sam Gaze after that one. I'll let Carlson take the hit on that. Pierre de Foimont crosses the line in 12th.
David List 11th. And then, Pierre de Foimont 12th place.
Vidare.
Yeah, Vidare. Not that bad.
13th place, yep. Signs of improvement. Behind him, Yuri Zanotti. The Italians red hot out there today.
The Italians are strong today.
Behind him, Thomas Litcher continuing his good year with another strong top 20 show, and Blevins home in 16th.
Yeah, Blevins.
We're going to go down to the winner now.
Alan Hatherley, you've gone and done it. You have just won your first XCO title. And what a way to do it. A double here in Leger.
Yeah, I mean, unreal weekend. We spoke before the race and I kind of mentioned the double, and I think I kind of visualized it, and I'm so happy to have executed it. I mean, unreal weekend for myself and for the team. To have 2 boys on the box in both races, I mean, good sign for the team, and especially for me leading to the games around the corner.
And such a composed race from yourself. You kept us on our toes. There was a bit of cat and mouse between you and Matthias Flukinger. You were right on his tail. Was it part of the strategy? You were just going to pounce?
No, I mean, it's a lot of repeated climbs here, and if you go for it early on, you're going to pay the bill. So, I mean, for me, the mud is always something I need to just build up and get up to speed on. So, kind of took the first 2-3 laps to see how good the grip levels were. And, once I was confident and I was happy with my pacing strategy, I just cracked on. And, I was kind of surprised I rode away the way I did, but happy I did, and just kept it steady all the way to the finish.
Fantastic. Congratulations and best of luck in Paris.
Cheers. Thanks so much.
Kept it steady all the way to the finish. What a ride from Alan Hatherley. Matthias Flukiger just couldn't live with him today. Superb performance from the South African. Got the job done. Proud moment in his career. Here's Matthias Flukiger. Confirmation of the results then. Haverly, Flukiger, Andreasen, Brido, Avendetto, Gaze, Schwarzbauer, Geoffrey Cullel-Etape, Philippe and Koledani. First ever podium for Avendetto up in there. Hence list de Foimont, Martin Vidare, Yuri Zanotti, Thomas Litcher, Blevins, Andrew Frischnecht up in 22nd. Good ride from him. Filippo Colombo down in 25th, his teammate. Well, we can head down to Matthias Flukiger now.
Matthias, huge congratulations. What a race it was out there. You had a fantastic start, but Alan did creep around you. How was that? Did it knock you a little bit?
Yeah, actually I was happy with the start. I'm happy actually with the whole race. Alan was today on a different level, I have to say. congrats to him. He was really strong. Yeah, really. And yeah, like I said, I'm really happy with the race. I just came directly from altitude. I didn't feel so good in the short track on Friday. So yeah, in general, I'm pretty happy with the second place.
And we know the Games is just around the corner. So how much confidence does this podium result give you?
Yeah, that's good. Again, you know, the shape is still increasing, and yeah, I go back to altitude tonight, and actually I'm still in the preparation for the Olympics, and yeah, of course the podium is always good for the confidence. So we have few weeks left till Paris, so of course that feels great.
Well done today.
Thank you.
Mathias Flückiger taking all the confidence he can out of his podium, which equals the tally of the great Thomas Frischneck in 37. Not the work of an afternoon. One of cross-country racing's great pros, Mathias Flückiger. And straight away back up to altitude tonight to continue his drive towards Paris 2024. Here is a lap comparison. You can see how high the pace was early doors and how hard Simon Andreasen and Luca Braido had to push then on lap 8 in that battle. Gaze's times were right in there as well, as you'd expect. Outside our window, Maxime Marot has just crossed the line. His last ever European UCI cross-country World Cup. Big emotions out there for him. Let's head to Simon Andreasen now.
Simon, huge congratulations. What a result for you today. You really applied the pressure throughout that whole race. At some points we saw Sam Gaze even off his bike because of that pressure. Was that part of the plan? Just put your head down and just go for it?
I mean, I had Alan in the front, and I was always in the second group, and I wasn't gonna put the pressure on here, so I kind of wanted the other guys to work a bit and then just protect my teammate in the front. And then when I saw his gap was big enough that we weren't going to catch him, then I started putting pressure as well. And I was it was a long race, and I was saving myself for the last lap because I knew it was going to come down to a really fast last lap. So second last lap, Sam attacked, and I was kind of a bit patient and tried to stay in under the red zone. And then last lap, I knew it was just go all in, and yeah, I was really wanting to lead into the downhill first, and then I knew I was fastest through the technical section, and it worked, it paid out, and yeah, I mean, I'm more happy to see Alan win the race than for my third place. He's been so close for so many years. I think he's the guy with the most podiums, but not a win, so this one is more than deserved, and yeah, I'm super happy to see him win today.
A great day for you both, well done.
What?
I said a great day for you both, well done.
Thank you.
Simon Andreasen just checked in on that bit. The last stanzas of that interview. What a set of performances from the Cannondale boys today. Manny Fumich's company credit card set to take an absolute hiding this evening. Alan Haverly then takes the lead off the cross-country Olympic overall standings ahead of Schurter, Colombo, Schwarzbar, Gaze, Flückiger, Koretsky, Blevins, Braido and Saru. Alan Haverly leads the way in the UCI cross-country Olympic World Cup overall standings with that debut win. Vidare, Andreasen, Avendetto, Forster, Pidcock, Kalel-Istap, Aldridge, Shelb and Guarini. with Pierre de Foimont rounding out the top 20. We're going to hear now from a man who had a perfect springboard into those games. Lukas Schwarzbauer is down at the finish now.
Lukas Schwarzbauer sprint to the line on a physical and challenging day. Tell us about it.
The legs were not quite as good as I hoped, actually. And it seems like the 7th place likes me, or I like the 7th place, I don't know. 3rd time now in a row, finishing in 7th. It's super solid, for sure. I know, but it's a bit unthankful, if that word exists. I mean, top 5 is always what we are looking for, but yes, I mean, the shape must be quite okay with not the best legs. I've never ever had good legs here, but always kind of fight through it. It's super hard course because you can't relax, and you come to the bottom, there's another climb. You come to the bottom and one more. Congrats.
Well, 7th place in the world is still pretty good. Congratulations, mate. Well done.
Thank you very much, and it was a nice year so far. Thanks to all supporters, and now we are heading to the Olympics.
Yeah, Olympics up next. It's finally here. After 4 long years, the biggest race in mountain biking awaits these elite level athletes. Next up, and Lukas Schwarzbauer will be there, and you can bet your mortgage on the fact that he will be a factor. Here we go then, a debut podium for the European Continental Champion. Simone Avendetto, Willier, Vittoria, factory team. Luca Bridle. Again, just as we've seen last time out in Crom, Montana, running into a superb vein of form. Right at the perfect time to do it. Really battled hard today. Was in the wars halfway through the race, but rallied and came back, and didn't he make an impact on the last couple of laps? Simon Andreasen. Third place today. Had a busy race, was involved in absolutely everything. Didn't quite have the legs to go wheel to wheel with. The winner today, Matthias Flukiger. But another man who will look at that result today as a superb warm-up for Paris 2024. Going straight back to altitude this evening to continue his preparations, where he will partner Nino Schurter for the Swiss Olympic team. Here we go, though. The first African man to take to a UCI World Cup podium since the late Barry Stander in 2012. In the top spot, Alan Haverly takes the win. His first cross-country Olympic. Top step for Cannondale Factory Racing. Alan Haverly wins in Haute Savoie Léger. Haverly, Flukiger, Andreasen, Bridle and Avendetto, your top 5 today. And he wins the race to the champion as well. Apologies for the language if you heard it in there. Spirits running high on the podium. An absolutely enthralling elite men's race. Still more action to come this evening from Léger under 23 men. Up next, what is usually one of the, if not the most unpredictable races of a weekend. Amélie Piron enjoying what I'm going to have to assume is a nice refreshing glass of water in the VIP lounge. Just a reminder, if you haven't yet, go and watch his onboard from yesterday. Absolutely unreal. Alan Haverly has control of the UCI World Cup overall points leaders jersey. He won the short track title back in 2022, but he's in the cross-country Olympic leaders jersey with 2 UCI cross-country World Cups remaining. The South African might just take some stopping. Huge roar from the Cannondale factory team. That's what they came here for this weekend. They said it right from the get-go, and that's what they got. Ludenvale Peyragu next up for the Gravity Mob, 7th and 8th of September. The next cross-country, end of September, 27th, 29th, Lake Placid in the USA. Brand new venue. Looking forward to getting there. Ludenvale was absolutely superb. One of the tracks of recent history last year. But we can head down now. We're going to hear from Luca Braido on what was a busy day in the office for him.
Luca, huge congratulations. What a fantastic result. You really had to fight for that one. We saw you crash on the routes. You did unclip. How hard is it to fight back after something like that?
Yeah, today I felt really good, and I tried to go away in the first lap. My baby was too early. I struggled a bit in second lap, and yeah, I tried, but I felt good, so I tried. And then I did some mistake in the downhill. I crashed a lot of times. I lost a lot of time, but yeah, I put a bit my shape, and it's crazy. Three podium in a row, so I'm super happy. The Olympics are coming, so yeah, I'm happy.
And what happens between now and the Olympics? There's only 3 weeks left to go.
Yeah, now I go in Livigno for the last part of altitude training, and yeah, really the Olympics are coming, so I'm excited and I feel ready.
Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's okay. No native language.
Luca Braido, ready for the Olympic Games. He may just be a medal contender based on this form. This spill today, he'll have seen the last 4 years flash in front of his eyes. My eyes just caught by the unusual sight of under-23 riders warming up, getting ready to go racing. Simone Avendetto is also down there with Ashley now.
Simone, wow, wow, wow. What an epic race, especially that fight on the last lap and your first podium. Sum up how you're feeling.
Yeah, I'm super happy for this first podium. Yeah, the last lap was very hard. Yeah, I got dropped by the group, and then yeah, I just kept hard. I saw that Sam struggled a bit, and yeah, in the end I could overtake him and take the 5th place, so really happy about that.
How much of a boost, how much confidence does this podium give you now for the rest of the season?
Yeah, it's very nice. Now it's soon is the Olympics, so this gives me a lot of motivation. So yeah, we will see, but it's nice.
Amazing, well done.
Thank you very much.
Simone Avendetto, career first podium. Won the European champs in that really, really difficult race in Romania. And now continuing that form, as I say, plenty more racing left this evening. Under 23 men's race up next. As Ghost Factory Racing take the women's team of the day.
Et dans quelques instants, on aura notre podium de l'équipe du jour chez les hommes, our men's team of the day, which is also our team leading the overall standings.
There they are, under 23 men on the rollers. Last minute prep going on. Specialized Factory Racing up on the podium for the teams. Lyra Steger, Zena Fry in the middle of the shot. Ben Ovila off to the right. Loves being on the podium with the team.